respect to the capacities of the 46 retorts in the 4 crematories at Birkenau, and he said, quoting Dr. Hilberg, the theoretical daily capacity of the 4 Birkenau crematory was somewhat over 4,400 persons or cadavers, but with breakdowns and slowdowns, the practical limit was almost always lower. Lagasse stated that this claim was preposterous and beyond the realm of reality. To claim that 46 retorts could cremate over 4,400 bodies in a day was ludicrous. Based on his own experience, Lagasse testified that it would only have been possible to cremate a maximum of 184 bodies a day in Birkenau. So, the words that he used is preposterous, beyond the realm of reality, ludicrous. And then he was asked by the defense attorney, my defense attorney, Christie, about Reidlinger, who claimed 6,000 a day to be cremated, others who claimed 8,000 people were burned. And some of them said 24,000 were handled a day. To this, Ivan Lagasse, the Canadian crematory expert, says it was irresponsible. These people were irresponsible with their facts because this doesn't even begin to enter reality at all. It is just physically unrealistic. Physically unrealistic. In other words, science dares to say the Holocaust, as we have heard it, is basically a hoax. Because if the story of this massive burning and so on is untrue, the people who claim these ridiculously high numbers of victims have to explain where the bodies went, or where they were, or where the mass graves are. They have no answers. Then they take refuge, of course, sometimes in burning pits. And the burning pits simply are equally untrue. I looked at all kinds of aerial photographs of these camps. There are no burning pits. There is no smoke rising from open burning pits, which you certainly would have to see because you see everything else. You see steam coming from a locomotive. Why would you not see smoke coming from 4,000 or 10,000 burning bodies? Also, there are no mountains of coals near the crematory that would be necessary, or near the burning pits. They're not there. And Lagasse makes another good point. He said the Germans had this unique construction of crematories at Auschwitz, and there were 3 retorts built next to one another. He said that's very efficient, and it is cheaper to build a crematory like that. But if one brick in one unit became defective, cracked, or broke, and therefore it would paralyze all 3 units. So what seemed efficient at first is very costly and time-consuming and expensive after, because not only can you not cremate in the one that is damaged, but you cannot cremate in the 2 adjacent ones, because you cannot have 2,200 degrees Fahrenheit radiating around while the next site is being constructed. Also, he said, after a crematory, a retort is being repaired. It takes between 3 and 4 weeks to cure it, and you can only start to cremate people slowly, maybe 1 a day or maximum 2 a day and so on, rather than 1 every 2 hours or 2.5 hours. That's the reality. Science has proven that the standard version that you and I hear in Hollywood films or see on television shows or read in these survivor books or are exposed to at the Holocaust Museum in Washington, D.C. are in effect, if not bold-faced outright lies, they are certainly fanciful tales told by people who report hearsay rumors from a 50-year-ago wartime situation. Inform yourself. You can get information and books and videos about this topic from us at Samizdat Publishers, and we'll be glad to send them to you. I am Ernst Zündel, thanking you for your time. Auf Wiedersehen.
And what I think I found particularly disturbing was that a bomb would drop maybe on a crowded, tented area, and then the drones would come down and...
Please take your time. We're incredibly grateful that you're making the time to be here today. So we do appreciate the time that you're making.
So the drones would come down and pick off civilians, children. And we had description after description. This is not, an occasional thing. This was day after day after day, operating on children who would say, I was lying on the ground after a bomb had dropped, and this quadcopter came down and hovered over me and shot me. And that's clearly a deliberate act, and it was a persistent act, persistent targeting of civilians day after day. We had 1 or 2 mass casualty incidents every day.
Genocide. Noun. The systematic killing of substantial numbers of people on the basis of their ethnicity, religion, political beliefs, social status, or other particularities. Genocide. Verb. To commit genocide against, to eliminate, a group of people completely.
Thank you for this opportunity to testify before you today.
Populated areas. Stop supporting the genocide and ethnic cleansing of the people of Gaza. Cease fire now. Save the children of Gaza.
We're standing up for our interests and values, not shrinking back. Not in the face of Russia's aggression against Ukraine. Not in the face of an intensifying strategic competition in the Indo-Pacific and around the world.
If the witness will suspend, and I ask that everyone again respect this hearing, we will suspend until the room is cleared.
Is calling for a ceasefire. Shame on you all.
Our diplomacy, our development must work hand in hand.
Committee will suspend, and again, I appreciate that people feel passionately about these issues. I would ask that you respect our witnesses and our committee members and allow the American people to hear their testimony.
Come on, I'm an Army colonel, I'm a former diplomat, I resigned on that war in Iraq that you talked about. That was a terrible thing, and what we're doing right now in supporting Israel's genocide of Gaza is a terrible thing too. Palestine has to go! All the walls have to go! Palestine has to go! All the walls have to go!
The Israelis have killed 2 more journalists, Hossam Shabat of Al Jazeera Mubashir, Mohammed Mansour of Palestine Today. That brings the number to 208. Each one was individually targeted. The IDF says they used extensive intelligence gathering and precise munitions. Shabat killed in his car, Mansour in his house. The Committee to Protect Journalists has once again noted that the deliberate targeted killing of journalists is a war crime. Do you have any comment?
I would say that every single thing that's happening is a result of Hamas and its choices to drag that region down into a level of suffering that has been excruciating and has caused innumerable deaths. And of course, their reaction on October 7th, when there was a ceasefire and people were living in some relative peace, they decided to break that with